Alright, so we do not have access to Project Epoch, but Project Epoch is similar to the Burning Crusade. I thought I'd muck around on leveling up a hunter. From level 1 a little bit on White Main PvP realm. This is the White Main PvP realm. And it's weird, but when I created the character level 1, she has a pet. So apparently I don't know if this is like Cataclysm works that way, or you just get a pet automatically, or if this is something that was added in the pre-patch for Mist of Pandaria. I have no idea. I don't remember when Blizzard decided to say, hey, we don't care about you doing pet quests anymore. We're just going to start you off with a pet. But in this case, it's fine, because I really wasn't looking forward to doing the grind to get the pet. Not that it's much of a grind, because it isn't. Okay, so let me do one thing. I don't know if I think I do. All right. No macros. Let's take. Boom owl. Shady Moon. Let's just take her macros. You'll take her bindings as well. Copy all of this. All right. Looks a little better. Oh, shit. Okay, apparently Shady Moon on that server was not a hunter, which is a little surprising. My bad. Let's see. Count. What would be a good hunter? Night Slayer, maybe? Yeah, that's still not right. Hold on a second. Wow, this is so weird. So there's beast mastery marksmanship. Where's survival? This is really bizarre. I mean, this. Why did... What is it? Arcane shot. This interface is so weird. Not the Guild Wars 2, but just the fact that. Where's Raptor Strike? We've got Revive Pet, Call Pet. Arcane Shot, Auto. So we don't have any melee abilities when you start? Like, I don't, there's like no, like normally like you have like Raptor Strike. This is so bizarre. Well, the keybinds aren't the man. Oh my god. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Here, pet action. All these keybinds are just completely garbage. They're just all fucked up. Turin, how's it going, Turin? I haven't, it's just so weird, like, playing this client. I'm so used to playing vanilla WoW. So, this just looks really weird. Everything's kind of different. Hey, what's up, Logan? How you doing? How you like my coffee? I always like my coffee. I like my coffee with a little bit of honey, a little bit of natural cane sugar, and a slight bit of cream. So I'm pretty bad with my coffee. All right. You did a rogue night elf run to 10 yesterday in Turtle WoW. I haven't played Turtle WoW in a long time, man. I like hot black coffee, of course, but I add a little bit of honey to it. Yeah, you have to apologize. I have to apologize. This client is... This just looks so much different than vanilla WoW. They really... I'm super excited for Project Epoch to come out, because this... Even the graphics in this version of WoW just don't look very good to me. Doesn't look as good. Eight. Yeah, this is weird. Like if I right click, it automatically shoots, and then if I move in, she just automatically... No, she's still shooting. Like, there's no... And here's okay, let's try this, because I don't really want to be a ranged hunter. So because we're going to do melee hunter, so let's get rid of the bow, right? Let's get rid of the bow. We have no ammo either, so apparently you don't need any ammo. So, like, what do we do now? Like, do we just punch people? I guess so. Oh, you're talking about Project Epoch? You say that's... You're saying you totally forgot Hunter's auto shot into melee. Yeah, I'm not really too concerned about that, because... I mean, I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, that's kind of weird that they did it that way. But, we'll see. I'll have to play around with it and see how it, how it works. You can see that fucking this doesn't work. Once again, Blizzard liking to break shit. Let's see. We are going to need camera. Is it dynamic cam is what we need? You can play some Power World. All right, okay, Logan, man, enjoy, man. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. I mean, like I said, I'm just biding my time until Project Epoch. Just biding my time. So this is like that version of WoW where, like, you have a main hand and an offhand, so you can't have like a melee weapon and a ranged weapon, which is. So how much money do we have? We have no money at all. I did, yeah. Hey, Ripoff, what's up? I did see on Discord server. Um, yeah, Val said posted something about that. Let me take a look. I haven't really looked at it, but I mean, let's see. Let me see if I can find the post.
Warcraft Reborn is an upcoming Classic Plus project from Ascension Custom WoW. On the new realm, Bronzebeard, you'll play as the original 9 classes enhanced with Wrath talents in vanilla, new spells and talents, and mystic enchantments that build on classic playstyles. Steady 1.5 times experience rates put the focus on your adventure, giving you time to develop your character and explore a Classic Plus Azeroth enriched with new locations, deadlier creatures, and new treasure to uncover. Deeper RPG elements from Azeroth and its monsters make every single creature monsters.
Deep new RPG creatures. What's an RPG creature? Yeah, but it's not Project Epoch though. I mean, the graphics are much. It's using more modern graphics. These graphics don't look anything at all like Epoch. Epoch has a much more vanilla look to it. And also, the interface is different.
RPG elements from.
I mean, this is a much more modern. This looks like a much more. Here, one second.
5 times experience rates.
I mean, just the character models look different. And they're using this. This comes from Ascension, so this is like an Ascension thing. Mystic enchantments. This is something that Ascension already had in their game, So they're just basically pulling this from other versions of Ascension. Um, you know, but it's different. Well, I mean, I don't know if I agree that it's fundamentally the same because to me, this is quite a bit different. Like, I mean, I get what it's similar. It's very similar. It's very similar. Um, but it's also very different. When you look at, especially when we looked at that video last night by McDoubles, when you saw him walking around the world and seeing like the new locations, it looked like vanilla WoW. Like it looked like vanilla. It didn't look like Wrath of the Lich King. It didn't look anything at all like this. Like the graphics were completely and to me and I know that some people may think that's silly, but the graphics, in my opinion, do make a difference. These more because I think that the older graphics don't look quite as cartoony. They look old and kind of pixelated, but this kind of newer graphics, these are like I don't remember when these models came in, if these were Wrath or if these were Cataclysm models. I can't remember, to be honest. I thought they were Cataclysm models. I didn't think this was Wrath models, but yeah, these character models to me look way more cartoony. I'm not a fan of these models, to be honest. Also, the other difference too is this is Wrath of the Lich King talents, whereas Project Epoch is Burning Crusade talents. So the talent trees are going to be completely different. And then they've got this Mystic Enchantments, which don't exist, which never existed. Like Mystic Enchantments never existed in World of Warcraft, so this is completely different. You've got 1.5 experience. That's also completely different. Epoch is more traditional, which is just regular. There's 1x. There's no like speed increase. So that's different. So to me, these are very different. Like these are very different. But I agree that they're trying to compete with Project Epoch, but I just don't. I think if you're like someone like me, there's no allure at all to this. Like I have no desire to play this at all. Like there's nothing about this that looks even remotely interesting to me. And I have no idea what the hell RPG creatures are. Other unless they're just the way they look. It's like, oh,
from Azeroth and its monsters make every single creature dangerous and unique.
So that I would say that this, like if they're saying that certain monsters are more difficult, like more challenging, that's cool. I mean, I like the idea.
Unique. Slay them to discover their immersive item drops and loot exactly what enemies are wearing.
Yeah, so yeah. The bad part I don't like this because the bad part about this is everybody can get this. Now you're gonna have so many people walking around who look like this, right? So I'm not really a fan of this too much.
Becoming the creatures you slay and gaining their expanded stats. Journey through an enriched open world.
Okay, so that doesn't make any sense to me either. You become the creature you slay and you gain their expanded stats. So you're saying by putting on their armor, suddenly you gain like some extra stats?
Journey through an enriched open world to find thousands of hand-placed RPG items and mystic.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it looks like garbage. I'm sorry, but it doesn't look at all. See, the thing with Epoch, what Epoch is doing is it's really retaining that classic vanilla experience. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's a flower. That's a very weird way of saying it. Like, that's a very bizarre way of saying that. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. If that's a flowery way of saying it, it's a stupid way of saying it. Because they're basically making it sound like there's something more to it than just that. Because why would you word it that way? Gain those extended abilities. Okay. But it's not vanilla WoW, right? Classic Plus, like to the true people who really want Classic Plus, like kind of there's a certain group of people who want Classic Plus to be basically just an extension of vanilla WoW. There's people that love vanilla WoW, and I happen to be one of those people. I think vanilla World of Warcraft is the best version of World of Warcraft. It's the most fun version to play. And there's things about it that are really bad. I agree. But it's still, in my opinion, when you're leveling, the experience of moving through the world of leveling and progressing and those original dungeons, all of that to me is still the best version of the game. And to me, what Classic Plus, people like me who like the original version of the game, when we think of Classic Plus, we just think of extending content into that version of the game, not really changing kind of the leveling pacing of the game or changing the systems too much, just keeping it very, just basically adding new content to the world that already exists. So when you look at Ascension's thing there's just way too many drastic changes that have nothing to do with vanilla WoW. They're completely different. Increasing the speed of leveling, using completely different, much more modern character models makes the game not at all look like vanilla WoW. It makes it look more cartoony. There's just too many, and then adding like these mystic enchantments. Again, adding systems that never existed in vanilla. Like Epoch's not really doing any of that. Epoch's just saying, "Oh, we're going to extend, right? Extend and enhance. Those are the key words. They're taking the existing systems in vanilla and they're just making them better. So by doing that, they're going to say, "Oh, we've already got a cool profession in leatherworking. We're just going to make it better by adding some more recipes that are cool. We've already got dungeons in vanilla WoW, but we're just going to like enhance them and make them better. We're going to create some new dungeons that are just cool, that are similar." Right? We're not going to change the world. We're not changing, we're adding content to the world, but the basic world is the same world you've always known. And it was like when McDoubles went through the video yesterday, and when Katos was basically teleporting McDoubles, and this was the video from a couple years ago, but Katos was teleporting him all over the world. And McDoubles perfectly said it. He said, everything that he's showing me just feels like it belongs in Vanilla WoW. It doesn't feel like anybody changed the game in any way. It's just like, oh, this looks like something that the original developers would have created. And that to me is what Classic Plus should be. It should feel like it's just what the game was meant to be, right? And the only difference really the only really big difference is that they are using the Rift, the talent calculator from Burning Crusade, which most people I think would agree is a big improvement because a lot of the talents for certain classes in vanilla just weren't really complete. I mean, we can all agree that Paladin was not really a completed class. Feral Druid didn't feel like maybe it was a completed class. It felt like there was work that still needed to be done to make those classes be completely fleshed out, especially Paladin. And TBC helped do that. Gave Paladins taunts, did certain things that made the class easier to play and make it more, usable. Made tanks a lot more usable. So it's just, yeah. So to me, when looking at what Ascension is, that's just, yeah. And that's Ascension, though. Ascension's always over the top with everything. If you've ever played Ascension WoW, it's just over the top. Like Ascension WoW is not World of Warcraft, in my opinion. Like when you play Ascension WoW with their ability to like have a priest that runs around and goes into stealth, or have a priest who can backstab. I mean, that's not World of Warcraft, right? And I agree that they are trying to compete with Epoch, but yeah, I don't think what they're doing in any way is I don't think what they're doing in any way is going to threaten Epoch for the people that look at Epoch the way I look at Epoch, as an extension of just classic of vanilla. I am looking for, oh my God, I'm looking for some macros. Where is my? Martel, what's up? I am actually going to be rolling a hunter in Project Epoch, and it will be a night elf hunter. Where is the fucking... I think I did decide I want profession, and then now I'm trying to remember what it was. Here, let's hold on a second. This music ain't really doing it for me. It is not doing it for me. And do I have it up? So we're going for a melee-based hunter. We're going to do like a hybrid melee hunter. It's going to be this build. Alright, how many points we got left? 1 talent point. So I believe we're going to go with this build, which is kind of like a harasser, like control, high survivability build, which is probably going to totally suck for PvP. But we're gonna let it roll. We're gonna let it ride and see how it works. This is the build I'm probably going to start off with on Project Epoch on my hunter. As far as the professions, I believe I'm going probably I haven't decided. I mean, I think with the Paladin it was easy. With the Paladin, what I was going to do on the Paladin is I was going to go... Because I'm going to do a Paladin, I'm going to do a Hunter. On the Paladin, I'm going to go probably mining for the stamina and alchemy. So that means the Hunter is going to probably have to be an herbalist, and I think I was going tailoring. So I could go herbalism, tailoring. I got it. What do I get on tailoring? Because we're going to get the leg enchants. Where's tailoring? Did I pass it already? I think I know I did. It's right here. Let's go. Wrath of the Lich King. Tailoring skills. All right. And it's going to be similar. Some of the stuff's going to be similar. And let's see. Threads. Spell power. Do we have... Is tailoring threads only mana? Spell power. Okay, here's attack power. So we can do sword guard embroidery, which is going to sometimes increase your attack power by 400. But yeah, so I don't know. I may go, or I may just say screw it and go skinning and leatherworking on the hunter, because leatherworking does give you some interesting stuff. You know, we get the different armor kits, and there's some different recipes that they've added to leatherworking. But I don't know. It's tough. Without knowing, like what are all the new stuff that's going to be in the professions, it's hard to pick. I can say that I think alchemy looks really good for any class. I think because of the bonuses with alchemy, I think alchemy looks fantastic for just about any class. Ooh, fishing. What's this? One of our new custom fishing areas is... Oh, this is... Okay, that's the lava. Okay, all right, cool. No bonuses. Fishing has been leveling restored. Da, da, da. Okay, cool. You're debating between Warlock and Pally. If I choose Lock, I'll likely go Enchanting Tailor. If I get Pally... Yeah, with Pally, I want to go mining alchemy. Because I want the extra health, but I want alchemy. I want the potions. If I want Warlock, I would probably go Enchanting Tailoring as well. I think if I went with any caster cloth class, I would definitely go Enchanting Tailoring. I just think that makes the most sense because you're going to get the spell power ring enchants, you're going to get the embroideries, you're going to get the spell threads and stuff like that. So you're going to get a lot of spell power with those two combinations for your clothies. So yeah, definitely I think that's a good choice to go with Enchanting and Tailoring for your Warlock. Paladin, I don't really know what new stuff they've added for blacksmithing. We know that they said that since engineering was already considered like one of the strongest professions, historically has been held the top spot as most valuable profession. In order to balance desirability between professions, it does not boast a statistic bonus. So there's no statistical bonus by going engineering. And they did that on purpose because people always choose engineering. This is cool. Classic First Aid. First Aid has been restored to its 1.12 state, including the Triage Capstone quest. That's kind of cool. To account for increased health pools due to TBC stamina scaling, the amount healed by bandages has been increased. So that's cool. So First Aid bandages are still going to be useful, which is great, especially for rogues. Yeah, I'm keen on seeing everything that they have to offer. I'm keen on seeing anything and everything that they have to offer, I have... Let's do this. It's funny, like they don't all they start you off with, like in this Mist of Pandaria pre-patch. When you create a hunter, they start you off with a pet, which is weird. I'm not used to that because I'm used to playing vanilla. And they start you off with a bow, and they don't give you don't have any melee weapon at all, right? You start off with just a bow. So I unequip the bow because I don't want to use a bow. I want to do more just like a melee hunter here. So we're just punching stuff in the face with our fists. So yeah, the starting zone's gonna be crazy. We'll just have to wait and see. I mean, the stress tests weren't that busy though. Stress test 2 only had 2,000 people, so I mean, if they started off and there's only like 3,000 or 4,000 people, then you might be better off to just skip the starting zone. If there's only like 4,000 or 5,000 people on the server, I would just recommend skipping the starting zone and just trying to, or not doing the quests maybe, and just trying to level up to like level 3 and then move to the next area. It depends on how many people are doing the quests. I don't know. It's hard to say. Or if you can get some friends to play with you, obviously. If you can get some people to group with you, it's going to be a lot easier to do quests that way. I would recommend anybody when they jump into Epoch to just try to, even if you don't know people, just try to look for a group. Just say, hey, anybody want to get together and just group together and try to hammer through these starter quests, because the zones are definitely going to be, very crowded. So Level 1. Yeah, I don't know. That's really tough. I'm still not sure what to do on my hunter. Since I'm going like more of a survival hybrid hunter, I really want to push either agility or stamina or both, obviously. So this is the official waiting room. I don't know. It's not really the official waiting room. It's just we're just talking about Epoch while I muck around on a melee hunter here and white main PvP server and Mr. Pandaria pre-patch. But yeah, we're talking about Epoch. But I think agility is where I would want to go. So probably, I think alchemy. I think probably what's going to happen is I'll probably go herbalism. It's so tough. So I'll probably go. Let me take a look. I'm probably going to go alchemy on both the paladin and the hunter. It's hard not to because I just think the stat boost. The nice thing about alchemy is you receive 100% increased duration and 25% increased effect from elixirs and flasks. I mean that's so good, you know. That's going to be really good. You know, like elixirs of greater defense, for example, you're going to get 25% more defense out of it if you want to make your character a tank or more tanky. You know, for like a hunter, maybe like for me, I want to get more like agility, you know. Elixir of agility, I'm going to get 25% more agility out of it, you know. The duration's 100% longer. So it's hard to shoot down that profession. Here, let's fix. I don't like this. This color looks fucked up. Make it a little darker. You gonna see anybody using Guild Wars 2 interface? They're missing out. Yeah, I like alchemy. But I hate having the same major profession, primary profession on, because I'm creating two characters, right? I'm going to be creating a hunter and a paladin. And I hate having alchemy on both. You know? The other thing we could do is we could go two gathering professions on the hunter, right? So let's say we wanted to, because again, the hunter is going to be more of a melee hybrid survival hunter who we're going to be pushing a lot of survivability. Like you can see the build is going to be, the build here is going to be really pushing a lot of like, you know, entrapment, clever traps, more damage with our traps, obviously deterrence. We're going to have readiness. We're going to be able to double tap deterrence against melee classes. We're going to have disengage. Disengage now launches us further away, so we're going to have 3 points into improved wing clip, so we have a 20% chance to immobilize targets with wing clip. We also have 5 out of 5 improved concussive shot, which also gives us 20% chance to stun the target. So we have multiple chances to immobilize and stun. We have disengage. We've got double deterrence. We've got slow traps that have a chance to prevent people from moving for 25 seconds. We also have a deflection and improved aspect of the monkey. And we also have endurance train, which is also going to increase my health pool by 5%. And then, of course, we've got lightning reflexes, which is going to increase my overall agility, which is going to increase my overall dodge rating. So we're going to have a high degree of survivability. And basically, we're going to be really a big nuisance to people. Like any melee class that tries to kill me is going to have a hard time killing me. The one weakness of this build obviously is going to be going up against casters. And that's where we're going to have to try to figure out something. I'm not sure what yet. I don't know, because usually like Wyvern Sting, you have to be, only someone seems to be kind of, because you have to be out of combat usually to use this. And I'm going to assume that it's still the same case for Project Epoch, which makes the ability kind of useless. Like, if you could use Wyvern Sting while in combat, now you can still feign death and probably get Wyvern Sting off really quickly. um, if you had to, right? So it still could be useful, and it's something I'm definitely going to look into because when we are in a PvP situation in the open world where casters are coming at us, it's going to be tricky. We're going to want to be able to get up close, get some sort of like an immolation trap off, maybe even get like a slow trap off. Most casters, because we don't have 3 out of 3 on Hawkeye, most casters we're not going to be able to outrange them, so they're basically going to hit us. Like if we get close to either shoot them when they or get close to hit them with a weapon, they're going to be able to cast spells on us. So trying to like so that's going to be tricky. You're trying to get I would pick skinning and mining or herb at the start, but you need to talk to my group before we get. You said myself because I'm trying to get ahead of all. I would pick skinning and mining or herbalism at the start, but need to talk with my group before again. If anyone else would pick it, just stay without until my group breaks up after 12 hours. Yeah, I'm not really worried because I'm not playing for speed. I'm certainly not going to try to out-level people because I know I just want to have the amount of time to put into the game to actually, be at the front, Because I have a life. Because I'm married and I just bought a new house and my wife would probably kill me if I spent like 10 hours a day every day for like a week on WoW. She wouldn't be too happy. But yeah, I think that's the trouble with this build. The challenging part is going to be casters. How do we manage casters? And where's the damage going to come from? That's the problem I really see with this build is how can I kill any kind of a caster with this build? Because I don't see any kind of high amount of damage being pumped out of this build, and that's a real concern. And I've got to try to figure out. Something. And whether it's going to be profession based, whether it's going to be some sort of specific gear I need to get, because I don't want to have to just run away from casters because they're going to kill me. You know what I mean? I want to have a way to actually outplay them. So I'm not sure yet. But this is where I'm starting off with as far as my build for my hunter. And profession wise. I mean, if we went mining, we're gonna get the increased. What is it? 5% increased health with mining. Yeah, so we're gonna get a stamina bonus. What did you see? I understand that you just had only 1 day free, but there was a change where I just needed to cancel my planned vacation. Yeah. Well, I tell you, if I wasn't married, I definitely would single out. I'd be playing probably every day. And I still see myself playing Epoch every day. I just, maybe only like 2 or 3 hours a day. I can't. There's going to be people that are going to be playing Epoch like 8-10 hours a day. And, I can't keep up with them. So I'm not even going to try, there's no reason to even try. But mining is going to give you the health increase. Skinning. Increases your damage against beast and dragonkin. The bonus increases in power as you do. So it's not really great because it doesn't really help in PvP. You do get these rare highs, which maybe can help you make some more money. Of course, it is an easy profession for sure. I'm tempted, I'm tempted almost just to go skinning and I'm tempted to almost go skinning and just leatherworking, just to see what new leatherworking recipes they've added to the game. Look, you get a leatherworking saddle that increases your mounted speed by 5% at max level, and you won't have to stop as often thanks to new leatherworking bags. And here, look, as leatherworker, you have access to temporary armor kits that attach to your bracers. Choose between spell power, attack power, and stamina versions. Oh, so you're gonna try to do 30. You're gonna try to do 35 hours after I come back to life, 18 hours daily until I need to go back working. Dude, you better. I would say if you're gonna do that, you should definitely make sure you sleep a ton. Like whatever you're doing going out. Hey, what's up, Corey? Whatever you're doing You're gonna main, yeah, you're gonna main a warrior. Well, I think, and you're probably gonna go Tauren, I would imagine. I mean, if you're gonna do like, I mean, I don't know if you're gonna do like a tank warrior, but mining herbalism. What does herbalism give you though? Oh yeah. Okay, I forgot about the resistances. Okay, so definitely I'm going herbalism. Because I'm definitely 100% going herbalism. So the herbalism is good for me because, like I said, one of the weaknesses of my build is against casters. So getting the additional resistances is going to be helpful. Um, and then if I go herbalism, the only other profession I could pick up probably that I could actually do, because it doesn't require a gathering profession, would be tailoring. So I think I am going to probably go herbalism and tailoring on my hunter. And then on my paladin, I'm going mining, and believe it or not, or I could flip it up. We could go engineering or blacksmithing, although I don't know how good blacksmithing would be for a hunter. Probably not good at all. We could go engineering herbalism on the hunter, and then on the paladin, go mining and alchemy. So it's like each class is kind of has the gathering profession that supports the other classes profession, but that would require me almost to be leveling both characters at the same time, which I don't know if I want to do that. Yeah, so I might just go herbalism and tailoring, and just go ahead and go with the thread that increases my attack power on my leggings or whatever. But yeah, I think I'm kind of, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. One of the things that's interesting is, I mean, we all know there's going to be new gear and new things that are dropping in the game. So, we all know there's going to be like new stuff that may have stats and bonuses on it that might be really useful for whatever build we're going for. So really, like the meta there is no meta right now on Project Epoch. Everybody was trying to figure out what that is, and since they haven't made the database of the new items public, nobody knows what all the new stuff that's going to drop. Nobody knows what it is, right? So that's really cool. I mean, so there could be items that are really super useful for a survival-based melee hybrid hunter that I'm going to be creating, right? There could be something that's really good for that. Maybe something that reflects spells or makes my resistances to certain schools of magic a lot higher. Those are the types of things I'm going to need if I want to in any way try to compete with some of the casters that are going to be probably ridiculously powerful. You know what I mean? Here that we have Wrath experience rated, but classic vanilla experience needed. That I do not know. Wrath experience. So what you're saying is we have Wrath experience rated, but classic vanilla experience needed. I'm not sure what you're saying. Are you talking about experience for leveling, or are you talking about something else? I'm not really sure what you mean. You're talking about leveling experience? Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that. Yeah, that I don't know. Certainly a good question. Yeah, hey, what's up, Vals? How's it going? Why does my bar look different here? All right, I've already completed my quest. Let's get this turned in. Yeah, I don't know about that. Let's see. So they do have transmog? It's vanilla raids for experience? That's cool. What's up, Howard? How you doing? How you doing, Jin? Yeah. I was so pissed off at XRP balls today. I bought a bunch of XRP, not a lot, just like a couple $100. And of course, I bought it at the top. So what did it do? As soon as I bought it, it just started going down. I'm like, man, this freaking sucks. I'm doing pretty good. I'm just kind of, I just wish that Epoch was out.
Be with you.
You know.
Farewell. Can I assist you?
I just wish Epoch was out. Alright, we don't need no stinking bow. We're not doing any ranged with this character, so let's get rid of the bow. Right now, just for 7 days. We're not. This isn't. We're gonna go pure melee on this character, I think, just because we're just messing around. Let's sell our bow. Let's sell this. What do we got here? Let's get rid of that. Restores health. What kind of weapon do we want? How much money do we have? 2 silver? Do we want to go staff, or do we want to go? Do we want to go broad axe? Ooh, the broad axe is kind of cool. 8 to 12. Let's go with the broad axe. Smack people with an axe. The biggest ones that are being used are Solana and Ethereum. Yeah, Ethereum's doing quite well. Yeah, Ethereum's doing pretty well. Yeah, XRP feels like it's topped. I totally agree. If I would have bought some Ethereum or bought some XRP about 2 months ago, it's always the way with crypto, though. Always the way.
Goddess bless you. May the stars guide you.
Reach level 3 to learn steady shot. Is this one? This is a stupid version of WoW where they're gonna make me actually shoot some target dummies or something. Go shoot a target dummy, like as if I don't know how to like use a skill in an MMO. Okay, look, shoot a target dummy. I'm not gonna shoot a target dummy. It's good to use for the market cap. Yeah, Ethereum. Well, we'll see. You know, Bitcoin still might. You know, Bitcoin's is the way, my friend. It is the way. I only play one race in World of War. I'm just kidding. I play lots of races, but I'm probably gonna go Night Elf. I love Night Elves. Since I'm doing more, I typically play Night Elf. You know, I go off meta and I play like melee hunter or like a melee hybrid, usually where most of my damage comes from melee based abilities. Because I do that, I like Night Elf. I like the extra dodge. It gives me 1% extra dodge, and I usually spec into improved monkey. So I really play into the dodge factor quite a bit. Where's my, you know, we are going to be specking into improved aspect of the monkey for sure. So the 6% there, you get 1% for being a night elf. And then, of course, we're going to have lightning reflexes, which is going to increase our, you know, yeah, if we'll play a Tauren female. Man, I tell you what, if you give me $1,000 to play a Tauren female, I'm not sure. I'm not sure even then. I mean, only because I'm hurting for money would I probably do that, but I would hate every minute of it. I would hate every minute of it. Well, I know on my classic WoW melee hunter, who was going for rank 14, grinding that out, and she was sitting around 34% dodge, I think, probably. When she was in monkey, she was around 34% dodge. So it was pretty good. And then, of course, obviously, when you throw in deterrence, I think that adds about 20% on top of that. So you're sitting at about 50. You know, when you pop deterrence, you're like 54% dodge. It's always fun when rogues and warriors charge in and attack you, and you pop deterrence, and it's just like parry, dodge, parry, dodge, parry. They can't hit you at all. It's hilarious. Does it? What am I doing here? What am I doing? Oh God, practice steady shot. I don't even have a bow. Let's just get rid of that quest. Can we get rid of practice steady shot? I guess we should do it just for the experience. We'll do the practice steady shot just to turn the quest in for the experience, but we're not going to use a bow, so we're gonna have to buy back our bow just so we can do it. Or maybe I can't use steady shot. This is so stupid. I can't believe it. Practice steady shot. Come on, pet. How do I... Heart of the Phoenix. What? What am I doing? Come on. Is he like... Thank you. Good lord. The hell, man? Why is Shifty here? I don't know. These keybinds are all fucked up. These keybinds are fucked up. $10,000. You got to play a Torn female and get her tattooed on your back once you reach level 60. I would do that for 10 grand. I would do that. I would, but you got to pay for the tattoo too. And then I'd have the tattoo removed.
Feel free.
All right, buy back. We need our stupid bow. Oh, it's only 12 copper. We're just buying this bow back so we can complete the quest. You know, if I could play like in vanilla with stamina and gear as a protection bow at Epoch, well, yeah, sure, why not? Practice steady shot. This is like the dumbest quest ever. Warstomp is so much kill they shadow. Yeah, Warstomp is pretty good for PvP, no doubt about that.
I'm listening.
No doubt.
Good luck, friend. What brings you here? Go in peace.
What brings you here? Goddess watch over you. Elune be with you. Asha Halal.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can learn any racials from any faction can be learned. Yeah, you could definitely be a gnome with Warstomp, which would be hilarious, by the way. I mean, as long as Warstomp is still a Tauren racial, right? You got Warstomp. So yes, you could. You could do gnome camo. Yeah. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, the function is at 60. So at 60, you basically have to find some sort of quest that you go on that explores like the knowledge of the other race that you're trying to learn. You know, that's why it's called racial knowledge. You're basically like learning about the other race, and once you complete certain whatever quest chain it is, then you'll be able to actually swap. You can only swap racials once every 2 weeks. So like if you wanted to take your night elf, if you're a night elf and you wanted to change your racials out for a Tauren, you could do that once you complete the quest, but then you couldn't switch it again for 2 weeks. So, which I think is a great move on their part. The reason being is it could have big impacts in PvP, and you know, like you could see someone in the open world fight them, and they could just keep swapping their racials back and forth. So, I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, also for like arenas, it would be a little bit harder to try to counter teams that you're having trouble beating. And like, let's say you're queuing for arena, and you keep beating the same team every time, and they keep beating you, and they're beating you because of certain tactics. If you can't really kind of plan against those tactics because they can just swap their racials out anytime they want, then that, in a way, it makes it more difficult, I guess. I don't know. I think it's cool. I think it's cool that you can only do it once every 2 weeks. I think it's a good move on their parts. I like that. This minimap looks different. See how the minimap, it looks different than it does in vanilla. Like, it doesn't have these big chunks in the ground here like this in vanilla. Interesting. And also these, well, no, those guys are never aggressive. Where are the spiders at? Yeah, spiders are still aggressive. The hell is that? Oh. Hi. I don't know. Don't know what Nature's Call is, but Looney, what's up, man? They've added all these webs and stuff in here. It looks this cave looks a lot better in this version of WoW than it does in vanilla, I think. Oh, come on. I've done this quest like thousands of times, probably. I've probably done this quest thousands of times. Right? You've just probably seen me do it hundreds of times. I wonder how long it'll take my pet to get here and how many mobs he'll bring with him. Why is the nameplate not there? Why is the nameplate gone?
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Come on, pet. Where you at? Here he comes. Here we go. I love this. I love her spells. Summoning these like little, like these guys is just really cool. Like the spell animation looks really nice.
Ah, the great outdoors. Is there trouble? Hi. Is there trouble?
Oh, she like instantly teleported me back. Let's do whatever we can to make the game easier. The nubification of WoW is in full effect on this version, man. Let's make the game as easy as possible. We're just gonna teleport you back. You don't even have to walk back. Yeah, we still gotta wait. What do we got? 7 more days? That's not 7 more days. 26. Oh god. Yeah, 8 days. Freeze myself. Yeah. Defrost in 7 days. Well, they really changed the graphics in this zone. It looks a lot different. The textures on these trees are completely different. In fact, I think these trees in general are different. Maybe they're not different. They're just the textures. Yeah, textures are different on all the textures are different. This texture is different. These trees look different. This is... I'm playing on white main PvP server. This is the only character I have on the server who is currently level 5. And this is the pre-patch for Mist of Pandaria on a Cataclysm Classic server. What a mouthful, right? So basically I'm playing on Cataclysm Classic, which has the Mist of Pandaria pre-patch on it right now. So Mist of Pandaria launches on this server, I guess, in like 3 days, I think. And I'm going the wrong way, it looks like. Ugh. Alex is 5 foot. What is he? 5'3"? Looney, he's 5'3", dude. He's a mini Hulk. He said he was. I think I saw a video. I think I saw a video where that douchebag is going to be playing on Epoch. Let's see if we can. Dare we look for it? Alex Sensual. Alex Sensual goes on a banning spree 1 year ago. I don't even know what his channel is before. He changes his channel and his shit like every other day. I don't even know what his YouTube channel is, dude. Does he even have one? Three months ago. Yeah, I don't know. Alex Sensual is a very cringe individual who's got some serious mental issues. He treats women like dog shit. And he thinks he's God's gift to women. He's a complete idiot. Yeah, he's just an idiot. Basically. A 5'3" idiot. He's got an inferiority complex, but Looney loves Alex Sensual. What's this? Yes. You love your little mini Hulk. Mini Hulk. Oh my god. I do know that he's going to be playing on Epoch. What's so funny is Alex always comes back to play on certain private servers, and then he just does something really stupid and makes himself look like a complete ass, and then he runs away like a little girl because he can't take the heat. Right? He'll say something stupid or do something stupid, and people make fun of him, and then he'll have a big meltdown and scream and yell and do whatever, and then he'll run off and go do something else. You know what I mean? Oh, look, we have to make the game easier. We have to give myself slow fall. Now, look, we need slow fall because we have to make the game easier. Like, what kind of an idiot at Blizzard said, well, we know that people always jump off the top here, right? They always jump off the top here anyway and climb across the roof when they finish this quest to move to the next zone. So let's just give them slow fall. I mean, what? Like, why would you do that? Like, it just doesn't even make sense. It's like, yeah, let's just... Like, well, people didn't need it anyway, so why are you giving it to them? It's just stupid, man. Blizzard, God. Exactly. You don't have better things to work on? Yeah, exactly. Isn't there better things to work on?
I am listening.
Someone's sitting in Blizzard going, yeah, when we complete this quest, we'll give them slow fall. That way they don't have to jump off the roof and climb down across the roof. They can slow fall across the roof. New improved personality. The new improved personality. Oh my god. Do we do it, Looney? Do we dare do it? Let's do it. Here, hold on a second. Let's do it. Let's watch a couple cringe videos. Let's see if we can find the original cringe. Here it is. This is the video. This is the video where Alex went from being somebody who just played classic WoW, who was actually fairly well respected in the WoW community, as being someone who just loved the game. You know, people thought, oh, this guy loves the game, no big deal. And this is the video that started his downfall. Check this out. Volume seems to be a little bit low. I'm going to turn it up.
Where'd he go?
And what the hell music is he listening to?
I'm gonna take some revenge.
This video is from, like, I don't know, how many years ago? This was on, this is from 7 years ago, but this was on Nostalris. This occurred, I believe, on Nostalris. So he is a level 25 druid. And he just said, I'm going to take some revenge on a level 17 hunter. So he's it's incomprehensible. He's 8 levels higher than this hunter. Like, I don't even know how you could possibly lose to someone who's 8 levels beneath you in PvP. But hey, Alex figures out how to do it. Spam those keys, man. Come on now. You know, if you shapeshift, you can remove movement impairing effects. You're a druid, right? You know you've got you know you've got root. You know you can root them, right? You know you can root him. He's almost got him dead here. Uh-oh,
Are you fucking serious?
Dude, he potted.
Did this guy really pot?
Did he really pot? Fucking serious? He used a health potion? He's 8 levels lower than I am, and he dared to use a healing potion. The balls on this guy.
I'm gonna kill his pet then.
No, you're not, because he's going to pull his pet back. Here's a tip, Alex. Why don't you heal yourself? You're a fucking druid. Like, everything about this video makes no sense, right? Like, everything he does here, it's like my golden retriever has more intelligence than this guy. And I always joke that my golden retriever's brain is like a cracked walnut that just rattles around inside his skull. Because when you ask my dog like something, you just see his little cracked walnut bouncing around trying to figure it out. So he says he's gonna kill. He says he's gonna kill the pet, right? And check this out. I'm gonna kill the pet. I'm gonna kill the pet. So he almost does. He does some damage to the pet. Then the pet runs away. But then he sends the pet back. So you said you were gonna kill the pet. The hunter called his pet back. But then he sends his pet back to attack you. Why don't you just kill the pet then? You said you were going to kill it anyway. There's the pet. It's still behind the pole. The hunter can't shoot you. Just kill the damn pet. You know, you can shapeshift out of that movement impairing effect. That concussive shot. Shapeshift.
Bruh, not if you fucking pot.
And now he starts to get mad. Someone in his stream goes, outplayed, bro. Outplayed, bro. He's outplayed. Not if you fucking pot, man. He used a healing potion.
Outplayed, bruh. Not if you fucking
Nah, all you gotta do is root him. Looney, all he has to do is root him. Just literally shapeshift out, root him, tangling roots, go up there, kill him. If he's getting low on health, cast a heal on yourself. Right? Like the hunter can't interrupt your heal at this level. All he can do is shoot you. He's so low level that his damage is so weak. You could literally just cast healing touch on yourself all day long, right? I mean, the only thing you have to worry about is your mana pool, right? You know, but I mean, all he's got to do is cast an entangling root, and it's pretty much over. What's the hunter going to do? It's like he can break out of it. Just like what? Look at the intense concentration, Looney. That intensity.
Thanks, Mob.
This is even better, dude. This is like awesome. What's great about this is like, okay, so then a ghost paw here. So so a ghost paw runner attacks the hunter, right? So a level 20, 19 or 20 ghost paw runner, I think it says 19, starts attacking the hunter, right? And instead of letting the ghost paw runner help him kill, what does he do? He thunder stomps, right? Or thunderclap, whatever it's called, you know. But the hunter's too far away, so all he does is stun and slow down the ghost paw runner, who's actually helping him kill the hunter. And then I think the runner turns out and watch this.
Thanks,
But-
Mob.
Wait, I'm gonna thunderstomp. Boom! He stunned the ghost paw runner. Finally, he casts Entangling Roots. Oh my god. Finally. Now, he got out of the Tangling Roots, though. I'm not sure how he did that. I don't know if he had the trinket. This quality is so bad, I can't tell. It might have just broke early. Sometimes it breaks early. But he should just cast it again. Just cast Entangling Roots again. Again, you're a druid. Cast healed. How much mana does he have? Let's go back. Okay, he's got almost half his mana. Okay, cast Entangling Roots. So he still has plenty of mana, right? So here, what he should have done, like if he, but he has no brain, so this didn't even comprehend, right? What he should have done here is he should have cast a heal on himself. His health is way too low. If you're doing just, pro tip, if you're in the open world PvP and you're trying to kill somebody and your health is this low and you're a healer, heal yourself. It's that simple. Just heal yourself. Dude, cast a heal on yourself. Healing touch. It's almost going to top you off. No, yeah, exactly. Even hot yourself. Even just hot yourself. And now he's almost dead. And why? Again, he's very low on mana here. So again, at the very least, he has enough mana for healing touch. He has enough mana for rejuvenation, right? Cast healing touch. You guys know healing touch at this level is very strong. It'll probably get him at least up to maybe here, probably, and it might even get him higher. But I guarantee if you did a healing touch here, it'd push him up to at least 80%, 85% health. Could be full health. And then all of a sudden, somebody else shows up and helps kill him, I think.
Wow. Wow.
Was it? I bet he was the kiter and you were. I don't know what this is all about.
Darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
Wow.
Outplayed, bro. So this was the moment that Alex went from being just kind of a, like somebody who was like played on Instaurius and people knew him because he was a huge fan of Vanilla Classic WoW. He like did all these videos, guides and stuff. And then people watch this video and they just realize, at first they thought this, oh, this guy's pretty cool. He likes, you know, do you lift, bro? He lifts, man. He lifts. He's got to be cool, right? Like he like did all these videos. He was super hyped about Vanilla. But then they saw this video and they realized this guy knows nothing about the game. Like he's the worst PvPer ever. Oh, the last, well, the party took out the 2 guards. Yeah. Yeah, I do that all the time on my hunter. Even on hardcore servers, I would do that. I bet he was the kiter and you, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what that comment's all about, but how's it going, Blue? I think the funny one is the... There's a whole site dedicated to making fun of Alex, actually. I'm only going to watch one more thing. Look at the big thing. Stay safe. Look at this video here. They made Alex Ascension look like, what's his name? Voldemort. Alex Sensual Psycho.
Sabrina, why don't you dance a little? Christy, get down on your knees.
Actually, that's his voice, though. That's actually his voice. Alex Sensual shit-talking his ex.
And she would show me pictures of her all done up and dressed.
The girlfriend.
So I was dating a girl for 6 months, you know, it didn't work out. You know, I broke up with her. Wait, I thought you had a girlfriend. Didn't you post a video with her a week ago? That was a few weeks ago. We broke up that same day, actually.
We broke up that same day.
We had a lot of fights, and that was the last one. Oh, it wasn't the first breakup. We broke up like 10 times.
They broke up
that
like
was just the last one.
10 times?
Weeks. I miss her sometimes, but she had a lot of problems, fighting all the time. Yeah, and she was really good looking, and we, you know, had a lot of good times and a lot of sex. But other than that, there was nothing there. Like, I'll give you a great example. I had a realization. Like, one night, it was a Friday night, and she came over like she usually did, and you know, we made dinner together, and we were just sitting down watching TV, and I was just thinking to myself, I don't like this person. I was wishing she wasn't there. Like, to be honest, she was the hottest girlfriend I've had. She was the hottest girlfriend, but not the hottest girl I've had a date with.
This guy, this guy, he is so cringe, man. Alex Setchel is so cringe, dude. Just waiting for Epoch, Blue. I thought about playing some Dune Awakening, but I just wasn't in the mood. The problem with Dune Awakening is the only thing that I want to do in Dune Awakening is get higher in level so I can build the bases with the better materials, but it's so time consuming to get to that point, and I know I'm going to play an Epoch probably as soon as it comes out this, you know, on the 26th, so I just like, I don't know. Don't want to wait, feel like I don't want to waste the time right now. I do like Dune Awakening though, that's a really good game. Very good game. You've been sort of meh? Okay, well that makes me feel a little better. Well, I told you the one thing that made me kind of lose a little bit interest on Dune Awakening, outside of the building, which I love the building, and I love the world. I think the world's really cool. Was that once I leveled up my gun turret, you know, on the what is the profession I am? What are they called? The Mentats. Once I leveled up the gun turret from the Mentats, and it could basically it could shoot through people's shields. Everything became so like absolutely like rudimentary. Like there was no challenge anymore. Like anytime I got into combat with like mobs and they just came after me, even if they threw personal shields up and stuff, I just dropped my turret down and just watch them all die, basically. Cool though. Cool that my turret's that powerful, but. So weird to have a pet like at level 1. Not used to that. Did you watch my interview with MMO Byte, Blue? Did you watch my interview with Mark from MMO Byte that I put up on the members channel in the Discord? I hated that interview because I looked like I was kind of like scrunched down in my chair and it made me look like kind of fat. And I just was like super hyper. I drank too much coffee, I think, that day. I'm always hyper, you guys know. And I didn't really like it. I mean, I didn't mind. The interview was good. I just felt like I looked kind of like I didn't like the way I looked in the interview, I guess. No, it's the only one, right? I only did one interview with Mark. Oh, who was it? Yeah, and Reptilian was saying that we need to register for, and I did. If you guys haven't done it yet, you can go to Blue Protocol, Star Resonance. I did pre-register. You know, you won't let me do it because I've already done it. Oh no, there it is. I was gonna say, yeah, you have successfully submitted. Oh, okay. But I do want to try out Star Resonance. I think Mark was saying, from mobile, I think he was saying it was pretty decent. Let's see.
Chat, are y'all excited for Blue Protocol Star Resonance? Because they just released their closed beta recruitment trailer. I've been covering this game for so many years. And for the very first time in recorded history, we are going to get a fully functional global beta test. Not one that was under an NDA like we had back when we were having it published by Amazon Games. No, this time, for the very first time, everyone is going to be able to play it. You can pre-register on the official website right now. There's tons of info over there. Additionally, I want to take a moment here to look at the trailer. Admittedly, I did play the Chinese version, the Chinese beta test a while ago. I've played multiple test phases of this, and both Mrs. Six and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Will this be a groundbreaking MMO that test phases of this?
So he did play the Chinese version.
And both Mrs. Six and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Will this be a groundbreaking MMO that that redefines the genre? No, but I am incredibly excited to be able to play this. I also have not played the Chinese launch. It just launched in China like 2 days ago.
Well, let's take a look at the features. All right, what are the features? Okay, I clicked features. Explore the open world, discover secrets, challenges. Okay, it's going to have some stupid stuff. Be whoever you want to be, make your own hero with custom stunning outfits. Rally, raid, and reap your rewards. Team up and conquer. Okay. The continent of manga. Let's see, what are the classes? We've got the heavy guardian, but he's got a weird, like, he's a tank, difficulty 2 stars. That's a pretty cool looking ability. Lock style. So he like summoned the mob. Well, the mob, okay, interesting. I don't know. He doesn't have a shield though. You know I love shields. Stormblade, difficulty 4 stars. Wields a long blade to unleash charge strikes, delivering devastating burst damage. Okay, all right. Aida style or Moonblade style? Yeah, this type of combat systems are a little bit, I don't know. They always feel like that when you see this type of combat that the enemies are going to be like really like not skilled. Like the enemy AI is usually going to be really bad. It's just going to be you flying through a bunch of mobs, killing them really quickly, and with a bunch of flashy moves, but really no like thought going into it. Just like pressing, just basically button mashing and things are dying. That's what I always feel like these games are like when I see this type of combat. So the Wind Knight doesn't look very appealing. 2-star, the Ranger doesn't look very appealing to me. Frost Mage, that looks kind of cool. I like the animations. At least look nice. I like the outfit too. The outfit's kind of cool. I like pretty cool looking sorceress hat. Yeah, I like that spell. Yeah, so I like this one. I could see maybe playing a little bit. The Oracle support summons vines that strikes enemies. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh wait, Shield Knight. Here we go. Now we're talking. Now we're 3-star difficulty. Self-healing defender. Now we're in my ballpark. Okie dokie. Radiant Guard style. Okay, we're doing the same thing over and over again. It just felt like she was doing the same moves like over and over again. I don't know. Probably what I would play, but definitely not the coolest looking animations I've ever seen. Maybe like that Frost Mage again. We're just gonna. How long does that spell last? It's kind of crazy, isn't it? Oh. Am I part of this project? Oh, part of Project Epoch? No. They need to make me a part of Project Epoch. I would be willing to help them out on the development. I haven't really been, but since I kind of had a falling out with Magic, I don't think I'd be in. I don't know if they would let me work on the project. I don't know, but I have been wanting to ask them to see if they need any help, but I wouldn't even know how to go about doing that. Is there a section, suggestions, ideas, off topic, welcome, registration, client, common issues? Yeah, I don't see anything. I am old. I am old, Sam. Wait till you get to be 55 years old. Let's see how good you look. Yes, the polite term is wise. Yes, I am. I am very wise. Muzzy, the priest overview is here. Yeah, Muzzy does pretty good videos. You guys want to take a look at the priest overview on Muzzy? Let's check it out.
And welcome in. It's time for another Project Epoch.
His videos are pretty decent. I've watched a couple by this guy Muzzy, and they're not bad. They're not bad.
Project Epoch has 2 new priest races, Tauren and Gnome priests, all with their new set of priest abilities.
Okay, new priest abilities. Bedside Manner greatly increases the morale of party members, giving them 283 mana every 5 seconds. So basically like a big mana, or is this, it's mana, like a big mana regen, AoE mana regen. That's pretty cool. That's really strong. Increases your spirit by 10% of your intellect for 20 seconds. Yeah, we know the gnome racial. It's like the gnome racial really plays into spirit regenerative. Because these are both gnome racials. They so play into mana. Like if you wanted to play a healing priest on the alliance side, I can't imagine you wouldn't want to play anything other than a gnome. Or if you played something else, you would want to get to level 60 and get the gnome racials. Because these gnome racials are insane. I mean, look at this. Greatly increased the morale of party members, giving them 283 mana every 5 seconds, last 15 seconds. And then, look, gnome racial, increase your spirit by 10% of your intellect for 20 seconds. So that's like kind of a mini, like, innervate on yourself, right? So these racials are really good, you know?
And of course, at level 60, you can swap around your set of racials, including racial priest spells, every 2 weeks due to Epoch's custom racial knowledge system. Keep in mind, if you choose to swap racials to a race that doesn't naturally have priests, you won't have any priest racial spells.
Oh, that's kind of common sense.
General priest class changes we should talk about.
Yeah, I definitely. I think gnome is kind of like, it's like go gnome or go home, right?
Have a new flavor ability, Bless Water, that allows them to create consumable holy water similar to Stratholme's holy water.
Yeah, I saw that already.
Discipline tree investment. All right, onto holy. Divine Spirit is now baseline, but a weaker version without discipline tree investment. All right, onto holy. Holy Fire and Smite have been improved to make them more viable in leveling or general.
Yeah, I saw this in one of the, I don't know if it was a video or somewhere I read it, but basically lower level, like Smite leveling, like leveling a Holy Priest with Smite is actually more viable, so.
Solo play. Specifically, Holy Fire's spell coefficient has been improved and Smite's mana cost has been tuned down a bit.
I love priests, and I was a priest main in WoW from Burning Crusade all the way through probably Cataclysm, and it wasn't until we got into the next expansion after Cataclysm, which was what, Mists of Pandaria? Even in Mists of Pandaria, I played priest. I've been a priest main for a lot of my life of playing World of Warcraft. I think after Mists of Pandaria, I started to kind of start playing other things. But most of my PvP life, where I did a lot of arenas, I've played thousands and thousands of arena matches. Most of that was played as a priest, so I have a lot of PvP experience on healing priests. You know, like a disc priest predominantly. But yeah, I love priests, and just watching this and seeing like how they've modified some of these spells definitely I get that itch where I want to play a priest. But I just know if I play a priest, I always get bored. I like priests, I love priests, I love healing, but after a few weeks of healing and doing dungeons as a healer, I just, I get bored and I want to go hit something, I want to go do some DPS.
Changes have been made to Holy Focus to count any holy spell. Furthermore, the talent Searing Light has moved up a row to make the damage scaling easier to access. Look, to be clear, Epoch devs have stated they don't intend to balance this playstyle for raid tuning at this time. Don't expect to be a competitive DPS as a Smite Priest. Your capstone, Circle of Healing, is a powerful...
And that actually seems to be a common thing with Project Epoch. If you've looked, if you look at some of the comments from you know, the founder, whatever the Katos, is he the founder? Or whoever the founder is, I don't know if it's Katos or not. They talk about they've made changes, like for example, like with shaman tanking, like they've retained some of the vanilla stuff for shaman tanks that kind of I think was lost in Burning Crusade. Because like I've actually played shaman and I've tanked on a shaman at lower levels, and it's pretty viable, right? But you know, so they've retained some of that stuff in Epoch, but they say that, you know, after a certain level, it's going to fall off. So yeah, you may be able to tank as a shaman up to like level 30, but then it's not going to be as good, which is the way it was kind of in Vanilla WoW. You could tank on shaman after 30, but it was really like, you know, very, you know, gear based. So maybe the Smite playstyle, but not tuning is just kind of pointless. The modern gamer will not play it in any significant numbers. Well, I think what it does, ripped off, is it just enables you that if you want to basically, for example, if you want to like predominantly heal, if you want to play the priest as a healer, you can still probably like, you know, use smite as a way to do damage when you're doing quest solo probably. So it might just help you. Yeah, it's a quality of life for leveling. Exactly. That's kind of what I was saying. It'll just help like healers like with their, you know, with their solo gameplay as far as like leveling, because they'll be able to do a little more damage when they're casting smite. So
an AoE heal, and then preliminary testing was incredibly critical for some raid encounters. The output is great, and of course it's very convenient to use on the move. Wilbur had some great experience in the raid to share.
For Tog, the Circle of Healing came out very helpful. Just being a instant cast AoE heal was super helpful.
Was Circle Healing always instant cast? I can't remember. It's been so long that since I played a priest, to be honest. Circle of Healing. Was it always an instant cast? Or was this just a change in Epoch? Did we even have Circle of Healing in TBC? No, it's not. It's not. Yeah, no, that's Holy Nova. Circle of Healing is different. I don't even see it in TBC. Well, it's a talent. Was it from Wrath of the Lich King? That's what I'm wondering, because I don't remember it. I kind of don't remember it being in TBC. I didn't see it on the skills, and I don't see it on the. It's not a. And I know it's not a talent. Where's level? Oh, shit. Okay. So it was always instant. But what version of WoW? Added in Legion. Wow. Yeah, so Circle really added in Legion? Was it that far into the game? Well, at any rate, it doesn't look like it was in TBC. Let's look at. Yeah, I thought so too. I didn't think it was Legion. I thought it was way before that. Yeah, that surprises me too. So let's go classes, priest, spellbook, Circle of Healing. It's source talent. It says source talent. Okay. Where's my... I have too many windows open. This happens every time. Every time. Every time. Yeah, there it is. Bottom of the holy tree. Yeah, definitely didn't exist in TBC, and it didn't look like it. Maybe didn't even look like it exists in Wrath. Yeah, well, Circle of Healing is. I remember, I played. Like I said, I've played Priest for many years, and Circle of Healing is an incredibly powerful spell. So that's that's exciting. If you really like Priest, I mean, that certainly is pretty cool. So. Crap, I've got too many windows open.
Use on the move. Wilbur had some great experience in the raid to share.
Warthog,
Was it?
Circle of Healing came out very helpful. Just being.
I didn't see it though, Jin. I didn't see it. Did I just miss it? Did I just flat out miss it? Maybe I missed it. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Yeah, I just missed it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was like the same with Ripoff. I'm like, man, that definitely was in the game before Legion.
Being a instant cast AoE heal was super helpful with how much AoE damage was going on in that fight.
Lightwell has been greatly improved to maintain its buff until you take direct damage, not just any kind of boss AoE that chips away at you. It now has 15 charges, although with a restriction of 1 use per person. This ability is great now, if you're good
Yeah,
on it.
that is great actually.
And because we're using a TBC baseline, you will have access to Prayer of Mending, an incredibly versatile chief spell to use,
My all-time
as well as Binding Cube.
Prayer of Mending as a healer, I would have to say that Prayer of Mending is my all-time favorite spell. As a priest, I think Prayer of Mending is my all-time favorite spell. It is so good. It's just such a good spell.
When it comes to PvP, there's not a lot to cover with Holy. You typically go deeper into Holy if you want to be more of a heal-focused defensive priest.
I don't know. I mean, this sucks because me watching this video makes me want to play a priest. Like, I really want to try a priest in PvP because playing a priest in PvP, like, especially, remember, we're going to be doing Warsign Gulch, like, a ton. Like, everybody's going to be doing Warsign Gulch because everybody's going to want the marks because everybody's going to want to get their early PvP gear as fast as possible. And also, you're getting 5% more experience. And I do believe there's supposed to be some experience gained by just killing people. I don't know if that applies in Battlegrounds, but I do know that when you kill people out in the world, you get experience for that. So I'm hoping that you do get experience by killing people in Battlegrounds. You think the hybrid Disc Shadow is going to be good? Disc Shadow. I love Disc. I'm a huge Disc fan. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you get. I mean, Jen, you can maybe confirm this, but I'm pretty sure you do get experience for killing people. I'm not sure if it's going to be in Battlegrounds. I'm hoping it is. But if you go to Epoch and you look at, let's see, features, I think, where is it? PvP maybe? It's in here somewhere. Here, level through bloodshed. For those who thrive in chaos, Project Epoch offers a bold path forward, leveling through world PvP. With war mode enabled, slaying enemy players in the open world grants bonus experience, allowing you to reach level 60 through combat alone. Reach level 60 through combat alone. Behind the scenes, this experience gain is dynamically tuned to ensure a fair and intentional leveling pace, rewarding active engagement without allowing exploitation. Whether you're ambushing in contested zones or holding the line for your faction, every skirmish becomes a step towards power. Yeah. So.
And that hasn't really changed on Epoch. If you were to forego Deep Holy for the more aggressive Disc Shadow build we'll be talking about later, then there are talents here.
Oh, Jen, he's going to talk about the aggressive Disc Shadow build.
You'll still pick up, like Divine Fury or the earlier mentioned Holy Focus.
Okay, let's do this. Before we look at what he says is good, because I have no idea, right? Before we go into what he says is going to be good for this like Divine Shadow, let me go into the tree and see if I can build it and let's see how accurate I can be, because just without, without knowing anything about it, because I don't. All right, let's get rid of this, get rid of this. See if we can close down some of these windows. Okay, so let's go into priest and let's do a divine shadow build. Let's try to figure this out. Don't anybody help me here. Don't tell me. We're just gonna try to see. All right, so if I was gonna build a build for obviously for PvP, we're definitely gonna want probably Spirit Tap, right? That's gonna be great. Blackout is good, but do we need it? We're not sure. Unbreakable Will. We definitely want Unbreakable Will. I'm not gonna worry about Wand. Maybe Wand could be good, obviously. Improved Powered Shield, Powered Fortitude. Losing casting. Maybe. Don't care. Don't care. Da, da, da. Yes. Spells. I mean, if it's gonna. What is gonna give us? I mean, why would we go Shadow? Trying to think. What else is different about this tree? These are all the same type of stuff we normally have. Reduces the mana cost of your Dispel Magic, Improved Inner Fire, or bonus. All this looks the same. I don't see anything about these trees that make them any different. Let's cheat a little bit and go back to the class here and see what is updated in Discipline. Okay, so spells magic 15-yard radius, removing one harmful spell from each friendly target, and one beneficial spell from each enemy target. Okay, nothing crazy, nothing crazy, nothing crazy. I don't see anything here that looks. How about Shadow then? Use the Shadow Fiend to attack the target. Caster receives mana when the Shadow Fiend deals damage. Last 15 seconds. Cooldown is 5 minutes, which is kind of long. And all these other spells look pretty much straight out of TBC. Yeah, I'm just like, first blush, I don't see anything really synergistic between Discipline and Shadow. Meditation, inner focus is great. They're probably going to go, I'm going to guess that they're going to go more Shadow than Discipline. $17 talent points. Vampiric Touch. We definitely want Vampiric Touch. Reflect chance of your Mind Blast, Shadow Word Death. Chance of critical hit. Cool down a phase. This is range or offensive shadow spells. Well, let's do this. So 15% isn't really that much. Pain suppression would be useful. Probably not going to be able to get it. Every time I cost cast spells. 3. How much is we going to get out of that? It's 1. We reduce Mind Vests. Yeah, probably want that. A lot of talent points, though. Okay, well, I don't know. I definitely think that if you're going to do like Shadow Discipline, you're going to put predominantly most of your points into Shadow for PvP. You definitely are going to want Unbreakable Will. That's going to be a no-brainer. I would definitely go with Powered Fortitude. Martyrdom is going to be pretty decent, and Meditation is good as well. So, I mean, you could go with these abilities, just give yourself a little bit more health, a little bit more resistances, and better mana regeneration. Would be nice to get Inner Focus, just because it gives you that critical chance, which can be useful in certain situations. Also, this is great for topping yourself off with heals with a with a greater heal, right? Like if you're like really low and you get the chance to maybe you could maybe fear somebody, pop in or focus and cast a greater heal on yourself. It's going to be a crit. It's going to be a huge heal, which can turn the tide in any PvP battle. So I would definitely say that I would probably want to drop 1 talent point here somewhere just so we could get that. Just do that. Yeah, I would drop 1 out of probably Powered Shield, maybe. Grab Inner Focus. Let's see how accurate I am. Where's the video?
Focus. Okay, on to Discipline. For PvE, Disc is in an okay state with a few notable changes. The former capstone pain suppression is now in the middle of the tree, and the capstone
I was wondering if they might try to push pain suppression. I don't know if you can get pain suppression here though without and lose and still be able to get and still be able to get other ability. Let me let's close this down. Well, I don't know if it's going to be reachable because of course, I just have too many fucking windows here. All right. I don't know. Like this takes 20 points. We got we got 50. So we'd have to put 5 more points in here. I don't think that would be because if you do that, you're not going to be able to get Vampiric Touch. And Vampiric Touch is a very very strong spell, which I would not want to give up just to get pain suppression. So
Word Barrier. This is a custom version of Power Word Barrier. It's a channel that will scale in strength.
Yeah, you can't get it. I mean, Vampiric Touch is too strong, right?
Strength up to 250% if 25 people are in it when it's used. Of course, you also have the powerful cooldown Power Infusion, as well as the access to the raid buff Improved Divine Spirit. Disc has great CDs for certain scenarios, but outside of those moments, you are a pretty weak healer compared to Holy. Now PvP, however, probably one of the biggest changes we've seen on Epoch talent trees. Pain suppression at row 5 means you can now go and pick up Silence with a Shadow Disc build. This unlocks...
Okay, so they're saying that you can go with a Silence build with some pretty good, shadow damage. I mean, you've got Affinity, you've got Blackout, Shadow Weakness. So you have quite a bit of shadow damage, but you get the Silence, which is nice. Okay, I see where they're going with it.
New hybrid opportunities that were not ever possible before.
Okay, so with this, you're going to have an offensive. You're a Disc Priest who has the ability to do some pretty good healing, offer a lot of great utility with Spirit and Power Infusion, which is a great spell to use for lots of different reasons. I mean, it's great to mana burn with. It's also good to cast on other people to increase their DPS output for going for kills in certain situations. You've got some good defensive abilities with Pain Suppression, with Silence, with Fear. Obviously, you've got your stronger shield, stronger stamina. So this is like a great, like in a 3s team, I could see this build being really strong. Because like if you did like a Priest, I would say like a Priest, Priest Mage Rogue, which is already a strong comp. But this would be I think this would be a pretty cool Priest Mage Rogue comp with this build. I could also be seeing it strong with another hybrid healer, like something like a Shaman. I could say this build with a Shaman and a Warrior. I would say this would be really cool with like a Priest Shaman Warrior build. That would be really neat because you could have the Shaman, probably could have Wind Fury with an Arms Warrior, and then the Shaman would also hopefully have a little bit of healing some more defensive utility, and then of course the priest can also put out quite a bit of damage with this build as well as heal. So that would be a really fun threes team: priest, shaman, warrior, I think, or even like priest, druid, priest feral warrior too. Priest feral rogue would be oh man, priest feral rogue would be cool too. Yeah, lots of possibilities.
Overall, a spec that was pretty complete in TBC PvP has only gotten better here on Epoch.
Yeah, priest caster melee. You think?
Talk about Shadow.
So you think for, well, I mean, rogue mage priest, you can't beat that, right? I mean, I that's what I said. I think rogue mage priest with that build would still be really, really good. But I still think you could pull a threes team off with that, with another. I don't know. I still think I guess you could do an elemental shaman. You could do that with an elemental shaman, just because the fear. Like, what about elemental shaman rogue? Because the elemental shaman needs support to be able to get their casts off, and elemental shaman hits really, really hard in TBC. So if you did, I was thinking the hybrid would work. So my two thought processes for the comp with that kind of hybrid build for the priest would be another second hybrid class, a DPS, like a feral druid or enhancement shaman. Would be interesting. I'm not saying it would work. I'm just saying it would be interesting. Or I think a really cool build. I think, and now that I think about it, I think a really fun build would be that disc shadow priest with a elemental shaman and a subtlety rogue, because the subtlety rogue can help set up. The subtlety rogue and the priest can really help set up the elemental shaman for burst damage. And then the power infusion too. I don't know if you'd have to power infuse. Yeah, I would throw power infusion on the elemental shaman. So you just have the rogue like sap somebody or get off like a kidney shot, and then the priest can come in and kind of get fairly close to the shaman, and then the shaman can just start dropping damage. And if anybody tries to stop the shaman up close anyway, the priest can fear him. And of course, the priest can power infuse the shaman as well. And so yeah, I think that would be really cool. That would be really cool. And of course, the priest having silence would be able to try to stop anybody for I don't know if there's like a cyclone or another priest trying to fear, or a warlock or something like that, or even a mage trying to sheave. There'd be ways that you could, with your silence, try to mitigate some of that CC a little bit. And of course, the rogue can do that with blind, shadow step, kidney shot, whatever. So that would be a really fun comp.
Unfortunately, in its current state, Shadow has 0 changes that would really impact your PvE gameplay. Of course, in case you're wondering, Vampiric Touch has remained a party-wide impacting ability. You're still a much-needed offensive support, and there's always the potential for changes here in the future. In PvP, there are lots of new theory crafting opportunities with the shifting of pain suppression. Experiment with both Disc and Shadow to make a fun hybrid build that you deem most effective. And don't forget, you can shift your racials around every 2 weeks. Okay, let's look at the dungeon tier sets. Looking at the healer set, the 4-piece...
One of the things I really like about about Muzzy here, is that he does bring in the gear sets, so you can kind of take a look and see kind of what some of the bonuses are, which is really useful. Kind of give you like a look to see what you might be planning for. So, yeah, you can't do the race. Yeah, because you can't do racial knowledge until level 60. You have to be level 60, and at that point, the quests become available to you to try to switch your racials. Which is another reason why I think people will try to level really quickly, because that gives you a big incentive. Again, Ripoff, I don't know why that's lame. I mean, I think it's just more incentive for people to get to 60. Because think about it this way: switching racials is very impactful, right? It's very impactful to the meta. It's very impactful to the gameplay. So making people be able to do it a lot earlier, I don't know. Nah, I think you need, dude. I just feel like you'd be better. It sounds like you should go play Ascension WoW, man. I think I think you should go play Ascension. Maybe you should go do the wild card. The what is it? The Ascension wild card pick 'em or pick 'em or what the fuck it is. For every level, you get to pick from different talents, different abilities. You can do whatever you want over there, Ripoff. You can give your fucking priest backstab if you want. You can give your priest shadow step. That way they can play. You can play whatever way you want. But no, I don't agree. I think putting it at 60 is a good move. I think trying to like figure out. I think it's good because it gives people something to look forward to. It also gives people another reason to try to get to 60, and so I think it's good. And if you did it earlier, then it kind of like would let people figure out the meta faster, which I'm not really a fan of either. What's up, SO? Which I'm not really a big fan of either. I think it's better to kind of keep it at the end game. I think it just gives me more people a reason to get to 60, which I like that. I like the idea that you're giving people more reasons to look forward to, things to look forward to. And I think it's going to be such an impactful thing that pushing it to 60, I just think it's a good idea. Well, for healing, for PvE, for PvP, I don't know. I actually I haven't looked at I haven't thought about because I wasn't thinking about playing a priest until just now. I mean, looking at this makes me really want to try a priest again. But I'd have to look at the racials again. Like if we were going to do racials for, I mean, undead's going to be pretty strong, as it always is, right? Like if you were going to do like what racials would you do for a disc shadow hybrid priest for PvP? And shadow meld is not usable in combat, is it? And TBC is I don't think shadow meld is usable in combat yet, so it's not really that useful. I mean, it's good. Actually, I know it. I don't have to look it up. I already know that. So shadow meld is not as strong as it is in later versions of WoW, where you can use it while in combat. Escape artist, meh. I agree with you though, Ripoff, that gnome could still be the best though. I mean, having the ability to recoup mana. What is the human racial again? Look at the human. Yeah, see, the human racials suck. You don't have every man for himself yet. You just have human spirit and perception, which, yeah, it's okay if you're a rogue, but outside of that, it's not the best. Yeah, the human racial suck. Yeah, it does. It totally sucks. I mean, the gnome is really good, and the will of Forsaken is good. Provides immunity to charm, fear, and sleep while active. And it lasts 5 seconds. You can actually pre-will the Forsaken to. Now it says charm. Now I'm assuming sheep would be. Would sheep fall into that category? Would sheep fall into the category of a charm? I should know this, and I don't. Can you will? I don't play Horde a lot, so can you will a Forsaken out of a sheep? I guess is the question. Probably not, because I'm assuming charm is just what, a succubus charm? Is that the only charm we have outside of? I mean, there's mind control. Is mind control considered a charm? Right. So. Troll Priest gets the hex. Okay, let's take a look. That was the last one on the list here. They get. Oh, that's right, because each one gets their own restarts damage and their healing taken that way. Yeah, so we forgot. That's the actual. That's the one other thing too, is that you actually get the class specific abilities that aren't racial abilities, because priests have class specific. So if we go to classes and we go to priest, spell book, but I didn't see that. Actually, shouldn't that be under racials classes? Priest, no classes features. Troll priest get a hex. It's yeah. Spellbook racial knowledge. Okay. Ah, okay, here you go. Yeah, I was a little bit. Yeah, this is what we were looking for. I mean, Star Shards is good. It's not like so hacks. Here it is. Weakens the target. I mean, reducing damage, but it reduces the effectiveness of any heal by 20%. That is very strong for arena, and even for battlegrounds. That's really strong. Dust repair is okay. Chastises a CC, right? Mobilizing them for up to 2 seconds. Only works against humanoids. That makes it a little bit weaker. Yeah. And then of course you got bedside mana, increases the mana. Yeah, Hex is good, that's for sure. Oh, and they also have Shadow Guard. When a spell or melee ranged attack hits the caster, the attacker will be struck by 160 damage. Attackers can only be damaged once every few seconds. This damage causes no threat recharges. So, okay, it's kind of a not a great ability, but it's not totally bad. So you get Shadow Guard and you get Hex. You still think that the gnome is better? Well, I think it depends on if you're going for a DPS it depends on if you're going for like a quick, an arena team that's more of a burst team that's looking to like end matches quickly, you know? Yeah. I mean, Devouring Plague is good. Devouring Plague is pretty good. Right? It does a lot of damage, but it's a 3-minute cooldown. How long is it? And Hex has no cooldown. I don't know. The thing with Hex is, I mean, you can get if you've got like got like an arms warrior with you that you wouldn't even need it. Yeah, it just gives you a lot to think about. Definitely gives you a lot to think about. But yeah, I do agree with you. Devouring Plague is actually quite nice. But if you're a healer, it's not necessarily your job to do damage, but having that extra damage. But if you go with the gnome racial, the bedside manner, and if mana is an issue, which thinking back to TBC Arena, I really don't think mana was a huge issue. I mean, it's definitely an issue, but it is an issue. It could be an issue. I mean, there is mana burn, right? We still have mana burn in this version, right? Yeah, mana burn. So, if somebody's hitting you with mana burn a lot, having those gnome racials to regenerate mana faster, that certainly would help. Yeah, I think it's really interesting. I think there's a lot of, man, talk about tough choices. The good thing is every 2 weeks you can try a different one out. Let's see.
My bonus is a bit inconsequential in most situations. The 6-piece chance to crit is fine, and the 8-piece bonus for your shield pre-encounter is pretty strong. And for the shadow set, the 4-piece bonus of 2% to your dots is a welcome boost. The second bonus is a fun dungeon and solo play tool giving you more Shadow Fiend uptime. That's huge, especially for that mana pool. The 8-piece adds just a little bit of priority cleave potential, but nothing too powerful. When it comes to leveling, the wanding spec into Shadow is the tried and true method.
Yeah, it is.
Epoch, however, leveling as a Smite Priest is a little more viable due to buffs to Holy Fire and mana cost reductions of Smite. So for those that want to mix it up, you can give that a try. If you'd like to optimize your profession choice, you could go Alchemy, which is really strong with Mixology, but you could also take flat stat benefits from Tailoring and Enchanting. For race choices, take advantage of the racial knowledge system here to make the choice between different racial pre-spells and race abilities. It's up to you to experiment, and remember, at 60, you can swap between these racials every 2 weeks. Another thank you to Wilbur for chatting with me about Priest, and of course a big thank you to you all in the audience for sticking around. Leave me a comment with thoughts about the Priest changes, were you expecting more from Shadow, and subscribe to catch the next.
So what they were thinking was, let me go back to that video. What was the build that he came up with?
Cooldown 25 people are in. When it comes to team, you onto discipline. For former power and strength, when it's the healer, because we've seen on pick up silence. One pick up.
I was just curious if he went into okay, yeah. So basically the same. Yeah, he went blackout. Mind flay. Oh, and the other thing too is mind flay. Actually, in original TBC, there was a time when I did battleground, when I did arenas with what I called a tri-spec, which actually worked in certain situations, and it was a really fun spec. And I don't even remember if I can figure out but I actually ran with, believe it or not, I ran with, I think it was something like this. It was a crazy build. Yeah, but it was something crazy, like where I went into all three trees. And the thought process of it was I was getting mind flay because I had a rogue as a partner, and we started running to certain matchups where we were going up against feral druids or like other rogue, or usually it was like a feral druid or like a heal. It was basically a druid. It was either a feral druid or a resto druid. And what would happen is the feral druid, the resto druid, we would get in a lot of these matches where we would get close to winning the match, but then the druid would shapeshift and run away. And so one of the ways I found to combat that was to grab mind flay. And so as soon as we got to the point where we were getting close to killing like the druid, I would start mind flaying the druid. And that way, if he tried to get away, that slow a lot of times was enough to let my rogue catch up and finish him. So, and on top of that, it made me be able to get a little bit more damage out with with shower pain. And of course, I had to reduction on my fear, so I could fear more often. But and I ran like a tribes build like this, and it was actually fairly effective in certain. It was good against druid teams, basically. Because the one thing that really worked against druids, what was really hard in TBC Arena was that druids healed really well. They actually, they didn't run out of mana as easy as priests. So you would run into a lot of comps where you're really fighting the mana battle. And the one thing that really made a lot of the matches swing in your favor was having a fear that would throw the druid or the DPS partner, his partner in it. The fear would fear them at the opposite direction of the other player. So the fear would push them apart. And that way you would be able to get the healer out of out of range or out of line of sight of his partner. And so having a reduction in fear was just gives you more opportunities to get one of those good fears where it's pushing the player in away from his, pushing him away. Because a lot of the matches were won off the fear. Basically, this fear through the druid behind a pillar or through the warrior behind a pillar, and now the druid's having to try to run around the pillar to try to heal him, and while my rogue's on him, beating the shit out of him. So it's pretty interesting. It was a fun build. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just one of those things. The more you look at Project Epoch, it's just really interesting because we don't know what all the meta is going to be. I mean, we can kind of guess and we have ideas, but there's just so much stuff's going to have to be played around with and tested. to get to the point where people feel like they know what is the best, and that's great. I mean, I'm always a believer that there isn't always necessarily always a best build. Like I always feel like anything can work if you just are good at it, and it really has to fit your play style. You know, certain people like to play certain ways. Some people are really good at playing aggressive. Like some people can play a Disc Priest and play it really super aggressively where they're pushing out lots of damage, but some people can't. You know, it's very difficult to play priests like that are healers, but also try to put out a lot of damage in this version of WoW, like TBC, because you just run out of mana. So you have like a limited time to do that, because eventually your mana pool is going to go down. You're going to run out, and so if you didn't push out enough damage to get those kills pretty early in the match, then you kind of wasted your mana. So yeah, Vols. Yeah, Arena's going to be really interesting. Vols. Yeah, we still haven't confirmed. The most important thing of all, and Vols has mentioned this several times, and he's 100% correct. Can you craft a bow with crafting? I did ask that in Discord, but nobody ever responded. You know. Paladin and Death Guy. Let's take a look at this one.
Hello and welcome to a new video.
Someone gave it a thumbs down, which I wonder why.
In this video, I will do a deep dive into the Paladin class.
I will do a deep dive into the Paladin class. He's got an avatar that's a kitty.
New Classic Plus server, Project Epoch, and I'm going to show you if it's a good decision to play Paladin on this server. I will show you everything new about it.
He's got 86 thumbs up since 0. I know the Paladin pretty well. Let's take a look. Yeah, seal twisting. I'm not, I've never been a huge, I never really, like seal twisting, it can work in certain scenarios, but I think 90% of the time you don't even need to worry about seal twisting. But there are certain situations where if you're really good with seal twisting, you can eke out a little bit more damage, and it could be the difference between, dying or not. But it's one of those things, I think it's just one of those really higher skill level things that's good to have in your repertoire, but it's not something that you need to have to be successful. You don't have to be great at seal twisting to be a good paladin. But if you are really good at seal twisting, it definitely, in certain situations, it will help you. I don't know. They do say seal twisting works on here. Let's see if he goes into it.
The class, including talents, racials, and aspects about leveling and endgame. So, let's dive in.
But I'm with you too, Ripoff. I'm not a big fan of seal twisting. I think it's kind of a weird mechanic.
First, what is new about Paladin on Project Epoch?
It's kind of like drink walking, where you're like drink and then walk and then drink and then walk. It's like one of those other like odd mechanics that yes, it works, but really it probably never should have worked that way.
Most important change: you can now play as a paladin on the Horde, with undead paladins being a
You can play. This guy's accent's killing me. You can play with a paladin on the Horde.
Viable play option on Epoch. The first question you should ask yourself now compared to the past is Horde or Alliance. This is a personal choice, and
the way he says Horde, he's like, Horde? Horde? I didn't almost even understand what he was saying.
On Epoch. The first question you should ask yourself now compared to the past is Horde or Alliance.
Horde.
This is a personal choice, and it won't affect your class later on, because another new thing on Epoch is the option to change your racials. You don't have to pick human anymore for its expertise or weapon skill, just play what you prefer most. Another new change is the introduction of hands, as they did in Wrath of the Lich King and upwards. You can now have a blessing like King's Up and use Hand of Freedom, Hand of Protection, or Hand of Sacrifice on top of it without removing your buff. Blessings also have a 10-minute duration here on small blessings and a 30-minute duration on greater buffs. So longer buff timers overall, in my opinion, are a flat amount of holy damage to all targets in front of you. It will also
I don't like videos where they're just reading tooltips.
Deal 35% as well.
I mean, I can read the tooltip. I don't need to have someone read a tooltip to me.
Wall effect when you reach.
Sorry. I'm not going to watch.
Even better.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch a video where someone just reads tooltips to me. That's why the other guy's video that we just watched is actually pretty decent, because he actually touches upon things that aren't really in the tooltip. So, yeah. So Priest looks cool. I mean, the thing is, I'm always picking classes that aren't very good. Like the problem I've run into is I tend to pick these really weird off meta builds that aren't good at PvP. I'll play like a protection paladin, which isn't good at PvP in vanilla. or I'll play like a melee hybrid hunter, which really isn't that good at PvP, you know. So, but I don't care. I mean, I'm still gonna do it because it's fun to try to make it good. I just don't know. I think priest is going to be one of those classes where if I play the priest, it'll definitely come after I play the hunter and the paladin. So I don't think it'd be something I start off with. And it's also going to be really interesting to see is how long this server is going to be up. I mean, how successful will this server be, but how long will its life be? When you look at like Turtle Well was very dead for years and years and years. I mean, and I was always amazed that Turtle Well stayed up as long as it did because it went through a span of like 2.5 years where it was only getting like 100, 200 people logging in. That was it. And then all of a sudden it went nuts. You know, it started getting like, well, it didn't go nuts, but I mean, it slowly started going up. And it's too bad that the website doesn't show the Turtle Well population graph anymore. I don't think it's there anymore. Yeah. Yeah, see, it's gone, which is, so, I don't know why they got rid of it, but it was always cool to look at the population graph because you could really see, you know, how it, how it was doing. So you realize you're just waving a wand like a moron. Well, healing is fun, but at some point in time, you like I said, you want to hit something, you want to do damage. Yeah. Yeah. The problem with the two classes I'm looking at playing is I think both of them are going to struggle with DPS. Yeah. I think both of them are going to struggle mightily, doing damage. And I think yeah, because here's oh, this isn't the finished paladin build. Oh, that was one thing. There was one person who came into the stream the other day that was talking about the paladin. Was talking about. I've never been a big fan of anticipation, but it's different in here. Let's check it out. It is different here than it is in vanilla. In vanilla, you get 2 defense. You only get 10, and 10 defense is only 0.4%, right? So here you're getting what? You're getting 20, which is what, 80%? So if 10 was 4, 20, yeah, 80. So you're getting points. So you're getting like 0.8%. But what this guy was saying in the stream the other day was that it's only, I was saying the reason I think anticipation sucks is like that's a lot of talent points just to say, oh, I'm going to increase my dodge block parry by 0.8%, right? Like, I mean, there's gear in the game that I could pick up that have 1% dodge or maybe 1% parry, Yeah, I just think that's a lot of talent points just for that. But he was saying, oh, if you're fighting lower levels, what he said in the stream is like, oh, if you're fighting mobs that are 3 levels lower than you, you're getting plus 7% dodge block parry. I'm like, huh? It was like he was insinuating that like your defense scaled based on the mob differential level, which I don't think I ever heard anything like that before. And so I had to look it up, and I couldn't. The only thing I could find is that, like, for example, if I'm like level 30 or something and I'm fighting a monster that's like level 29, the difference is the weapon skill of the enemy who's lower level than me will be lower. Like, his weapon skill might drop like by 5. So what that means is his chance to hit me, and my weapon skill I think goes up. So my chance to hit goes up. His chance to hit me goes down. So my chance to really block and parry doesn't change. It's just that he may miss me. I might have a better chance, you know. So it doesn't really. It didn't really stand up to what this person was saying in my stream to say that, like, you know, that the defense was somehow great. But I will say, like, when you look at toughness, it's only 10% of your armor. I've always felt that toughness was way better than anticipation, but only with respect to AOE. Because when I level a paladin, I'm always trying to do AOE leveling. I'm trying to kill a lot of mobs. Now, from a PvP point of view, the PvP build I came up with the protection paladin, which is going to be really interesting. I have no idea if it's going to work. It probably won't work, but the build I came up with is this one. And it's probably going to suck, but I would even probably... So, I mean, you could do something like this. I mean, but it's still going to be... This isn't the exact build I had, though. Did I save it? Hold on a second. I think I saved it. Yeah, this is the build that I came up with yesterday. See, what are the differences here? I did pick up kings, which I think is kind of... I don't... Yeah, I wouldn't be using kings because we're not going to be blessing kings on ourselves most situations. We're going to be using Blessing of Sanctuary or Blessing of Wisdom. So that talent point there is a waste. Where am I? 51. Well, I got 50, 11, 51, 10. Where did I... Because here we've got, let's see, 5, 3, 2. Oh, okay, I see. So 2 of these points went here, and then I took the 1 out of here. Okay, I see what I did. So I think this build here is better. I think getting the 3% crit is better, but it's... I don't know, man. I think if you were going to go with a protection PvP build, you're probably better off pushing more of a rep prot build. And usually when I go with a rep prot build, I'm going to go into like Seal of Command. But then you're using a two-handed. I'm trying to think of a build where you would use a sword and shield. So you think they're going to be in for a Rude? Why are they going to be in a Rude Awakening? Because of the scaling, or why do you say that, Jin? Because they're gonna try to like do what, like just like do like leveling via 40 plus, like try to do like the classic WoW leveling where they're like, oh, we're just gonna like cleave shit. Yeah, okay, I got you. Yeah, I know. Okay, I got you. That's what I thought you were. That's what I thought you meant. But I think with that in mind, right? I think with that in mind, we could build Yeah, I don't think I would be running Kings because in most situations when I'm doing AoE leveling, I've got Blessing of Sanctuary up. And when I don't have Sanctuary up, I have Blessing of Wisdom up. So I'm never really going to have Blessing of Kings. So it's not even worth getting. You know, Improved Seal of the Crusader is nice because it is 3% crit. But if you're going for like, more of a survivable build, more of an AoE leveling build, then you're better off just going full deflection. But again, I think this build's not gonna. It's great for AOE, and there's some small points here that help in PvP. I mean, obviously having the reduced hammer justice is gonna help. Obviously having the 4%, spell warding is gonna help a little bit, increasing your stamina, reduce the cooldown of your divine shield, and reduces the attack speed penalty. I mean, these things all help a little bit. But you're still the problem. You're never gonna be able to kill people. It's like this isn't. I mean, it depends. How much damage are we doing with the horse shields? Damage. Yeah, I think both the builds that I have, the build for my paladin and the build for my hunter, are both basically very weak in damage. They're both a lot high in survivability, but weak in damage. So we'll see. Yeah, I think the hunter build has a lot better chance to be PvP viable. I think this build is going to be probably isn't going to be very viable. What if we tried? We need hit rating. And you don't need a shield to use Redoubt, I don't believe. So we could do this. Yeah, and I mean, this again, I don't like this because I don't like using a two-hand weapon. I'm not a two-hand paladin wielding. I don't like to wield two-hand weapons. But I mean, if you did this build, you almost would have to go into. I think you would almost. I mean, because of Seal of Command, works a lot better with a slow two-handed weapon. Yeah. The other build you could go with, which I don't really care for this build, and I would never run this build. There's another build that I use for leveling, which is kind of like a protection build, but you're actually using Seal of Command, but you're using it with a one-hand weapon. Especially if you get a one-hand weapon that's more on the slow side. So you could do something like this. like this build would be a good leveling build. You're gonna do pretty decent damage. Like I said, if you can get a slow one-hand weapon, you can also weapon swap between a two-hand weapon and a one-hand weapon. But But this is going to allow you to have, you're obviously going to be judging with Seal of Crusader, so you're going to have 8% increased crit against single targets. You can still do some decent AoE. How often this can, you have 30% less cells, or means you don't understand all damage changes reduced by. I would rather have the defense here than the spell warding. But how often can Ardent Defender proc? Isn't there like a limit? I mean, it can't proc. You have less than 30% health. All damage change is reduced. What happens if you heal yourself up above that? I think this can only proc so often. I don't know. I'd really like to know how often that is. But anyways, this is kind of a fun little leveling build. I've actually leveled with this build before, and it's actually pretty good for leveling. I don't know how this would work. In PvP, this would probably be garbage once again. I mean, is it 2 minute? I was thinking 1, man. 2 minute kind of. It's too bad that. Like, I mean, would you rather have more damage reduction on Ardent Defender, or would you rather have the continuous like 4% spell warding? I think I would. There's probably going to be a lot of casters, but having like 30% damage reduction versus like 18% versus 18% every 2 minutes basically seems a little bit stronger because it's all damage, right? So I think having the 2 points here, maxing this to 5 is probably better than putting him into spell warding. You lose out on, you don't have deflection though, so you're not going to have. But this is more of a leveling build. I don't think that I would want to really. This is more of just leveling. Like if you want to level and you want to be able to do a little bit more single target damage, this build actually works pretty well. But this isn't really going to be like good for PvP. I still think the best PvP build is probably, if we got to think of the PvP build as a support build. And I still don't even know. And I don't even think it's going to be very good. What's up, Na? I don't think this is going to be good either. But this is just the build that I like to play. Yeah, I mean, I think this build here is the one that gives you a lot of survivability. And you do still have damage. You do be with Consecration, Avenger Shield, with Judgment, and with your Holy Shield, right? You're still going to do decent damage against melee. Against casters, not so much. Against casters, your goal is just going to be to probably like stun them, maybe just try to stay alive until you have one of your DPS buddies comes over and helps you out, You're going to need some support. So I think what I would look for with this build is gear-wise is I would want to get gear that helps me with mana regen. Like I would really want mana regen gear and spell power, mana regen. Try to keep my mana pool up and get a lot of spell power, because spell power is going to increase my damage, but it's also going to increase my healing, and I would want to be able to off heal. Hey, what's up, Darcy? I would want to be able to off heal so that I could make this more of a support build to help the flag carrier in a Warsong Gulch. So. Yeah, so that's... I think this is the build that I'll go with on Epoch. And this is my hunter build. So these are my builds that I'm going to do, right? Got my survival hunter. Actually, all I really do is just to copy these. Why is it Earth? Let's see hunter builds. Yeah, I am. I completely forgot. I am going to reserve names. I'm not going to tell you what my what my names are going to be because I don't want anybody to take my names, but I'll definitely reserve. You don't know what Project Epoch is? How dare you? How dare you? Oh, hold on 1 second and we'll tell you. We shall tell you. Project Epoch is a private server. Nah, it's a private server, private World of Warcraft vanilla server that's kind of a Classic Plus server, which is, you know, basically like kind of like vanilla WoW, but they're basically on a Wrath of the Lich King client. So you'll have like kind of that upgraded client, but the talent trees are very similar to the Burning Crusade talent trees, but with a little bit of a twist in that you do get to use 61 talent points. You play Turtle WoW? So if you go to the talent calculator here for Project Epoch, you're going to basically get 61 talent points that are usable. And the trees are going to be very similar to TBC, but they're not exactly the same. There are some changes. So it's going to run way smoother than Turtle WoW, and it'll be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I think let's see. I mean, like here I am in, let's see, like one of the things you can do in Project Epoch is play an undead paladin, right? So there's different race class combinations. So here you see me on the stress test, and this is a Wrath Lich King client. And there you go. Stays. Look at that. Cosmec actually stays with you. So here you can see me like fighting some mobs on Project Epoch. On this is during the stress test 1, right? So you can see I've only got one arm because there's actually some cosmetics that you can cast on different races. Each race has a cosmetic, and the undead cosmetic you actually can cast on yourself, and you can see my character only has one arm. But anyways, the server, the Project Epoch server runs really, really smoothly. It runs really, really good. There's all kinds of stuff on Project Epoch that is different. There's, it's hard for me to explain it all. There's just a lot. I would go to the website and just read about it. But there's world bosses. There's racial knowledge where you can actually once you get to level 60, you can unlock the race knowledge of all the other races, and so you can switch your racials. If you want to have a human who has undead racials, you can do that. And there's different class combinations. So there's like human hunter and undead paladin and stuff like that. Other than that, the classes are there's new dungeons, obviously, instances. They've created, reskinned versions of the Dead Mines, Wailing Caverns. There's entirely new dungeons like Glittermurk Mines, Barradin Hold, Stone Tunnel Caverns. These are all entirely new dungeons, and they're high quality, as you can see in the images. They look fantastic, and the size of the scope of these reworks is much larger. The ceiling's much higher. The graphics are. You can just see it's really done well. Like the quality is there. So very, very exciting. It is very exciting. Sure. Yeah. Let's see. Invite. Oh yeah, that rail there in DM. Yeah, I mean, you can see just everything. Like, you can see that like the texture here on the wall is different. This is this isn't like a normal texture that was in the Dead Mines. So they've got updated textures. It's just different. Like the Dead Mines never had a ceiling this high. I mean, look at this door here. I mean, it's just so much bigger. This reminds me of the Goonies here. Finally, and there's the big door. It's really cool, that big door there. If you know where that leads to, it actually leads just south of Westfall. Like when you're in Westfall, and if you go down the coast and start getting closer to Stranglethorn Vale, you can actually see where that door is. It's pretty cool. Oh, can you? You can ride. You can actually ride it? No way. You can actually ride this? Oh, that's freaking awesome. That's actually clever too. That's very clever that they did that. So that's really smart, actually. Yeah, I know more online too. I've never played it. When I looked at it, it just didn't really look like probably something that I would play. Anyways, I gotta go, guys. I'm getting tired, but yeah, it'll be interesting. I think it's gonna be super fun. I'm super stoked. It's on the 26th, which the name reservation. Go ahead, go to the website, create an account. Name reservations are on Tuesday. If we go back to the Discord server and we go to Project Epoch, go to announcements here, you can see that the name reservation is at 3 p.m. on Tuesday next week. I will definitely go in there and try to reserve. My names are usually not taken very quickly, so shouldn't have a hard time getting my names for my paladin and my hunter. There's a couple of names I like to use for my hunter, so we'll see. I'll try to get them both. And of course, there's a name for my priest I want to get, but it's impossible to get it. The name is always taken, but I'll try. That'll be the first name I try to get. But yeah, you can play Horde, you can play Alliance. It's cross-faction. The weird thing, man, is it's cross-faction. Nah. If you're playing a Horde character, I can talk to you on my Alliance character. If you're playing a Horde character, I can literally walk up to you and trade gear with you. We can group together. We can trade. We can talk to each other. It's weird, which I'm not a big fan of that, to be honest. Spirit Walker, that will be okay. Spirit Walker Horde, but yeah, we'll be able to talk. You'll be able to see Alliance chat in the general chat. So they're gonna open it up so people can talk to the opposing faction. Which again, I'm not personally a big fan of that. I don't really understand why they made that decision. I'd love to ask Katotes why he decided to go down that route. I'm sure he has his reasons, but I'm not sure what those are. I haven't seen a way for me to help out the team. Yeah, I mean, I used to talk to Magic, but he's got me on ignore, I think, because we had an argument years ago. I don't remember what it was about. I talked about this yesterday. I think I got drunk and yelled at him for something, and he got pissed at me and blocked me. Hey, no, thanks for the donation, man. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. But yeah, you too, man. You too. But yeah, definitely go to the Discord. Make sure you create an account. Go to the Project Epoch, create an account. Name reservations next Tuesday, and then the server launches on the 26th, which is not this Saturday. Well, what is that, tomorrow? A week from tomorrow, or a week from today, I guess. So it's already Saturday. But have a good one. Yeah, I don't see anything here about kind of volunteering to help out. They don't seem to have anything like that. Yeah. I hate asking in general. The problem is they discourage you from like messaging the founders, the developers directly. In fact, I think I messaged one of them directly, and I got put in timeout for like an hour just because I messaged one of them there. It's like against the rules. No pinging developer. Yeah, no pinging developers. But it says no pinging developers. It doesn't say you can't ping community members. All right. Hey Wilbur, let me ask Wilbur. Hey Wilbur. Anyways, I will let you guys go. Hope you guys all have a good night. And man, we still got 7 more days to go until this comes out. So I'm not sure what I'm going to play this week. I've kind of not really been playing much of anything right now. I've just been kind of talking about Epoch. And I think that's probably all I'm going to do this week is I'm going to keep streaming, and then I'm just going to keep going over all the information we can find and just try to keep learning more about the game. You know what I mean? Yeah, the wait continues. Just keep trying to kind of scour through. And I'm not trying to like deep dive anything really, but just I'll probably start just doing some searches on YouTube and find some more videos, and I'll try to look at them before I talk about them on stream and see which ones are good. Yeah, I thought that the McDoubles one was really nice because he actually, Katos was showing him around, was teleporting him around in the world and showing him where the dungeons were going to be. And even though that video was from like a couple years ago, it still was really cool. But yeah, but I'll catch you guys later, man. Hope you guys have a good one.
Slip inside the eye of your mind. Don't you know you might find a better place to play? You say But don't look back in anger. Don't look back in anger. I heard you say. At least not today. show is over, close the storybook. There will be no encore. And all the random hands that I have shook, well, they're reaching for the door. I watch the backs as they leave single file. You stood stubborn, cheering all the while. I know I can be colorful. I know I can be gray. But I know this loser's living fortunate. 'Cause I know